I went through 28 psychological studies about attraction, and I discovered something crazy. You can literally use Pennywise, Chili, and Megan Fox to make yourself extremely attractive to men. It's so simple that you don't even need any fancy clothes or expensive makeup for this. And on top of that, it works even if you're shy. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're gonna know how Pennywise, Chili, and Megan Fox are related to forming extremely strong attraction. Let's begin. So, when it comes to attraction, men's brains are wired a little differently than women's, and a big part of that has to do with adrenaline. Men, on average, have higher levels of testosterone, which is linked to something psychologists call sensation seeking. That basically means they crave thrill, danger, and excitement. That's exactly why they love action movies, fast cars, football, or even watching two guys punch each other in a cage. It gives them an adrenaline rush, and they love it. But how exactly is all that related to attraction? In 1974, two psychologists, Donald Dutton and Arthur Aaron, had the same question, so they decided to do a study on it. They had two groups of men walk across two different bridges. The first group walked over a low, safe, and stable bridge. Nothing scary, totally chill. The second group had to walk across a very high, shaky, and unstable bridge, the kind that makes your heart race just looking at it. The researchers chose that scary bridge on purpose, because it created tension, fear, excitement, and filled the body with adrenaline. After each man crossed their bridge, the same woman approached them. She asked them a few questions, and then casually handed over her phone number. Now guess which group was way more likely to call her afterward? The men who crossed the dangerous, shaky bridge. This group also described her in a more romantic and passionate way when they answered follow-up questions. The researchers concluded that the adrenaline from the bridge made the men feel more alert and alive, which enhanced their attraction to the woman. In short, when adrenaline is high, attraction feels stronger, especially in men. Now that you understand the psychology behind it, let's get to the fun part. How can you actually use this without risking his life on a bridge? This is where Pennywise, Chili, and Megan Fox come into play. Also, make sure you stick around till the end, because the Megan Fox part is the most important. Let's start with the first one, Pennywise. In order to create stronger attraction, we want to create the feeling of adrenaline and excitement when he's with you. And what could be an easier way to do that than watching a horror movie together? Now don't worry, you don't need to watch something that'll traumatize you for life. It just has to be exciting enough to give him that little spike of adrenaline. Even better if the movie actually has a good storyline and some crazy plot twists. Don't worry, I've got you covered with this. Here are some of my favorite horror movies that I highly recommend. Until Dawn, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and of course, the classic, It. Also, if you pretend to be a little bit scared during the movie, that can actually help. It makes him feel protective, which instantly creates a stronger connection. So yeah, Pennywise is basically your wingman. Now let's turn up the heat, because the second thing on the list is chili. And yes, by chili, I mean spicy food. Let me explain. So, when we eat spicy food, the body responds almost the same way it does to fear or excitement. Your heart rate speeds up, you start to sweat a little, and your brain kicks into alert mode. And that's the whole point. It's not about impressing him with the restaurant. It's about making the moment feel alive. The more adrenaline he feels when he's around you, the more his brain thinks, wow, this girl makes me feel something. And it's not just about spicy food. Studies show that adrenaline-filled dates lead to way stronger attraction and connection. That's why just going to a quiet restaurant and talking about school or work isn't the best idea. It's safe, it's slow, and honestly, it's kind of forgettable. Nothing really happens, and if nothing happens, there's nothing for him to feel. So next time you're planning a date, don't play it safe. Pick something that makes you both feel excited and alive. Now let's move on to the most important part of the whole video, Megan Fox. First, a little context for those of you who may not be super familiar with her. Megan Fox is one of the most iconic celebrity crushes of all time, especially among guys. She became globally known for her role as Michaela Baines in the Transformers movie. Now, most girls probably assume the only reason she's so well known among men is because she's beautiful. And yes, of course, she's stunning. But here's what most people don't realize. Her beauty alone isn't what made her unforgettable. What really made her stick in people's minds, especially in guys' minds, was where and how they first saw her. And for most, that moment was Transformers. Now think about that for a second. That movie wasn't romantic. It wasn't soft. It wasn't about love. It was a fast-paced, adrenaline-fueled action movie packed with explosions, danger, speed, and chaos. And there she was, in the middle of all of it. Guys weren't just watching Megan Fox. They were watching Megan Fox while their brains were lit up with adrenaline. The sound, the visuals, the danger, it all created a high-energy emotional state, and she was part of that emotional moment. So, how do you actually apply this in real life, without needing Optimus Prime to crash your date or a car explosion in the background? The answer is simple. Start thinking less about being perfect and more about being unique. You don't need to look like a model or say all the right things. What actually matters is how he feels when he's with you. Adrenaline is the weirdest, but also the easiest way to build strong attraction. So use it. Create moments that feel fun, exciting, or a little out of the ordinary. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just something that brings that spark, playful energy, and a little bit of thrill. This was the Desire Diaries. Thank you so much for watching. If you want me to make more videos about attraction, charisma, or psychology, let me know in the comments below. And until the next video, stay confident, smart, and glowing.